who are being used as tools, they should be responsible. But in addition to that, the whites who are faceless. We know that they own the companies. They gave space to the police. They were in collusion with them. They were allowed to be faceless in the film, and I think that, it would have been good for us to kind of get a chance to see these faces, maybe something about their homes, the profit that they're making, and the kind of lives they're allowed to live. That should be, been an important part of the film. One, and two, I wanted to know if the people in South Africa themselves are getting a chance to see your documentary, and also to connect with what's happening here in the United States. I mean, it's easy for us here to say, this is South Africa, but a lot of those same things happen with the police, and exactly what's happening here. So it'd be good for them to hear about our struggles here too.
Yeah, I mean, just on that last point, in some ways, South Africa and America are similar places. Capitalism, in many ways, developed along racial lines. So, yes, white monopoly capital still rules the roost in South Africa. And these corporations that are mining in our country have considerable local ownership. And most of that ownership, that local ownership, share ownership is still in white hands. Over 75% of our stock exchange, of our local companies, locally listed companies, are owned and controlled by whites. But I think, Lonmin, I state in the film, Lonmin is a UK company, it's a British registered company. The classic narrative of these sort of, these Northern Hemisphere raping our mineral resources and shipping them off to the industrialized countries for beneficiation and at the same time making huge profits is a well-known narrative, but I think it's changed in a way. It's changed in a way in our case that we have this policy of black economic empowerment and with increasing black ownership. But what's shocking for us is our movement that was heroic and courageously challenged this system and the powers behind the system, both local and foreign capital, has completely capitulated, and that's what's new. Many of us now argue, myself included, that our ruling party is dominated by these black tycoons that we've created through our government policy, these black moguls who are politically connected, part of the political elite, now part of the economic elite, and are dominant inside the ANC around the present. Now, what I sought to do is make a film about an event and to just clear up what happened in that incident, over those 7 days, because there's a lot of confusion that these workers were somehow criminals, that they were taking traditional medicine, under the spell of a witch doctor, voodoo in your parlance, were suicidal, were uneducated, were etc., etc. Everything to demonize them in order to, one, justify the shootings that took place and then justify the killings, the murders. I think most of us know that these corporations in Africa are not African corporations. We don't have to spell out the